Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. So, let's start off with the hope stuff. First, like yesterday, she was there getting grilled and questioned and warned by Liam, right? Now, I've said this yesterday and I stand by this, right? That it doesn't matter if she's there going out with Thomas, she's sleeping with him, if she wants to sit there and marry him. Bro, the minute that she didn't become your wife anymore, you don't get to sit there and tell her what to do, right? And in a lot of ways, you are the last person to be sitting there trying to be not controlling, but you're talking about how Thomas is dangerous, this, that, and the third. You couldn't sit there and forgive her, right? You did the same thing as far as cheating on her, and she forgave you, but you couldn't sit there and give her that consideration. So in a lot of ways, I'm like, bro, you can kind of miss me with that, right? Thomas is dangerous, this, that, and the third. She's a grown ass woman, right? The constant badgering, it got to a point where it's like, bro, enough is enough. Let her make up her mind. Now, after Thomas was talking to Steffi, getting her support, he comes over Host's place. They about to sit there and do this whole wine and dine thing or whatever, but he's like, listen, I gotta sit there and confess something to you first. And he tells her that, he was following Emma. He erased whatever sort of because I guess Xander was able to sit there and track his GPS, and he erased the footage. He erased the evidence pretty much, showing that he was going after Emma. So right then and there, that's a red goddamn flag, Hope. Okay? Right then and there. And then he does sit there and say he was chasing after her on a very dangerous highway. That if you're not careful, if whatever, you can sit there and easily, go into a ditch. So when people sit there and say that he didn't kill her, he didn't kill Emma, that's not exactly true. Okay? He even said also he was chasing her. This is what I said yesterday. That's like if I was there running after I was chasing after somebody with a baseball bat. Right? And they're there running, they're scared for their lives, they're calling, trying to call 911, and they're not, necessarily paying attention to the streets, and they get hit by a car. That's on me. Okay? So right then and there, he pretty much kind of confessed to her that although I didn't sit there and kill her directly, my actions led to her death. So anything that she does moving forward, if she decides to be with him, she decides to sleep, whatever it is that she decides to do, that's on her. Because everybody in that goddamn town, including Liam, which is, I know is no one's favor, has been telling her about Thomas. You know, up until a point when she was with Liam, she was like, oh, Thomas didn't do it, Thomas didn't do this, Thomas didn't do that, he's a changed person, yada, yada, yada. Even though last year, he was the one that faked the call to Child Protective Services. But he's a changed man. Okay, sure. So now at this point, anything that happens is on you. After you vigorously defended him in front of Liam. And I felt like she did that mostly because she's still pissed off at Liam for leaving her. And maybe for doubting her decisions, like she's not a grown woman capable of making her own choices. That's why Liam was like, I see you're digging your heels in. Now, after Steffi was talking to Thomas, she went to Fence. And she pretty much adamantly defended Thomas Smith, saying, listen, he's a changed person. I wish you would believe in me, this, that, and the third. I'm your wife. I know him better than you. You got to sit there and have faith in me. And people are sitting there saying, because I read one comment sitting there saying that Finn is a fool. Steffi knows him better than anyone else. You should sit there and take your wife's word for it. But the problem with that is when it comes to his family, the family that you love, there's always a blind spot, right? There's always a blind spot. You are always, for the most part, going to sit there and give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, Taylor, the greatest therapist in the world, tried to treat him, and clearly it didn't do a goddamn thing. Okay? And why is that? Because as much as a therapist as she is, she's a mother first. She's a mother first. Which is really stupid why she would sit there and treat him as opposed to going to somebody else, but whatever. Um, well, she's claiming up and down he's changed, you need to drop this, you need to let this go. And you can tell Finn doesn't, it's like there's a pit in his stomach that he just cannot let this go. Can't let it go when she's saying it. He can't let it go when his own mom is saying it, as far as just dropping it and keeping your family intact. But I understand where he's coming from on that. My issue is that he's going a little bit too hard on as far as trying to protect Hope, being Hope's protector out of nowhere. Like they had this great bond from like day one. I've seen them barely talk to each other. Barely. Maybe a handful of times they've interacted, and now he has this whole, oh, I got to sit there and say hope from you because you're a danger, and she deserves better than you. That's where things just kind of blur, and you're that's when he's getting out of pocket. Now there's a whole other scene, there's a whole other story with Luna and Eric and RJ, which on a certain level, I don't want to sit there and say it's whole, heartfelt or whatever, but I guess it kind of is. Maybe it's just a little more sad because, he's in the hospital, he's an older person. If you ever had to sit there and visit your loved one in the hospital, it kind of pulls in your heartstrings a little bit. But all Eric is there telling Luna is that, and RJ, is that he approves of their relationship, and Luna's talking about how much she loves RJ and she's never felt like this before, and I'm definitely gonna sit there and say that she is rushing this whole "I'm in love with you" thing. I mean, I know feelings can't be measured, like as far as how long it takes a person to sit there and fall in love with and really want to be with them and stuff like that. But it's definitely way too fast. It's way too fast, even since they're bringing up the L word. Um, so it's just very like, what are we doing? You know? RJ comes in there, he's happy to sit there and see Eric. They bring the stapler and everything like that. I don't know. Like I said, I think it would have been a lot better if he would have passed. I feel like he had a very beautiful conclusion, and they just wrecked that for reasons unknown. Which I don't know. I guess the actor really wants to sit there and keep working. I mean, the guy's like 80 something years old, and I'm like, I mean, from one actor that I talked to, Nathaniel Gray, and how much work he has to sit there and put into remember his lines and everything like that. It's hard. It is not easy. They make it look easy, but it is not easy. And I can't imagine that they're doing something that taxing at that age. So I'm just like, bro, listen, you've been Eric Foster for years. You can, I think it's cool if you sit there and just kind of take a step back, Um, enjoy the rest of your, not, I know it sounds kind of bleak or whatever, but enjoy the rest of your life, though. You know? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much about it. I can't really think of anything else that went up happening. But if I missed anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born and Beautiful, and Young and the Restless. And I will see you in the next video, and hopefully live stream.